I started this YouTube channel in January. Fast forward about 7 months, and I just somehow hit 1,000 subscribers. But if we're being real, I have made so many classic YouTube mistakes along the way. Because here's the thing, I'm actually not some YouTube guru. I'm figuring it out as I go, just like you are. So let's talk through a little bit of my journey, how I've learned from some of these mistakes so that you don't have to. We'll talk about how I'm actually starting to figure some things out, how I've gotten to 1,000 subscribers, how I'm figuring out what works and what doesn't. And at the end of this podcast, we'll talk about 3 things that I wish someone had told me before I started this YouTube channel. And as I'm going through some of these lessons, drop a comment down below of what your biggest struggle is with YouTube right now. We're all in this together, and I can guarantee that I've gone through some of the same stuff you're going through. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I was first starting out is that I made videos that I wanted to make. I would literally sit there and like brainstorm ideas of like, oh, I think this would be cool. Let me talk about this. People might be interested in this. I didn't like research the topics or figure out if people were actually searching for that thing or if they would be even be interested in that thing. So my process for going about videos was just coming up with ideas myself, thinking that it was cool and I would click on it. So why wouldn't everybody else? And that kind of honestly led to a lot of frustration in those first few months. So, starting off with a bad topic, something that I just think would be good, add into that I would also not really have a clue about titles. Like, I started trying to think, I watch YouTube, so I've seen titles, I know what they should look like, what they should kind of vibe should be like. But I had no idea how to really craft a title that will get clicks and go into the packaging of your video overall. So I'm coming in with a topic that I just think would be good. It's not based on any research. And then I have no idea what to do with the title. Then you add in thumbnail. No clue what to do for thumbnail design. And most of the time, even to this day, I still struggle with remembering to actually take a thumbnail photo, like to be in the same clothes or make an expression at the end of the video or hold up the camera or whatever I was talking about. I still forget to do that. So it's screen grabs from the video of me just, hopefully I'm making a good face at that point. I'll scrub through the video trying to find what would be a good thumbnail. And then I didn't really know what went into a good thumbnail that would be clickable. So those first few months were a little bit disheartening, but also exciting. Even though I wasn't really getting a lot of views, nothing was really happening. It was very slow growth at the beginning, slow subscribers coming in, slow views coming in. I was kind of figuring some things out, but it was still so exciting because it was new and I'm getting to experiment. I'm getting to make different styles of video. I'm getting to practice, to edit, to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And I just developed a love for YouTube. I was like, okay, I love doing this. So I'm the type of person, if I figure out, okay, I like this thing, I'm going to start researching that thing so that I can become really good at it. So after a few months of some frustration and not having a clue what I was doing, I started really focusing on YouTube education, YouTube tips, YouTube hacks, YouTube strategy, YouTube growth, the whole 9 yards. I wanted to figure out, how do I actually make this work so that I can succeed on YouTube? So this was kind of a turning point when I discovered some YouTube channels like Think Media and vidIQ, and they're giving you all the latest information on YouTube, what's trending now, what's working, what's not working, what strategy you should have. And I just started absorbing as much education and knowledge as I could. This is where I really started to put some things together and be like, okay, you're supposed to research a lot before you actually make a video. There's a bunch of tools that can help you do this, like vidIQ, which I highly recommend, by the way. Link in the description if you want to check that out. But vidIQ is well worth it if you're an entrepreneur trying to start a YouTube channel in 2025. I'm starting to dabble in that, starting to dabble in AI to help me create titles and learning how to prompt AI to really get the right results that you need, learning how to workshop, basically have like a brainstorm session with AI, ChatGPT, Claude, vidIQ. And this started to kind of develop, okay, here's some thumbnails that work. And even within, vidIQ, when I would upload a video, it will help you optimize that video. So it will rate your title and your thumbnail, and then it will tell you what you need to improve, like visual interest, or there's not enough emotion, or there's not enough contrast, and it'll give you pointers so that you can increase your optimized score. And that is, it's not a guarantee, but that's supposed to help you craft a better title, better thumbnail to help your video get more views. Then there's the whole keyword research part, where you can use like answerthepublic.com. You can look at Google Trends. And again, you can ask AI for ideas on what people are searching for in your niche. This helps you actually start to craft some videos that people actually want to watch. They're already searching for those things. And if you make a video, it might pop up in search and people can start clicking on your videos more. So this is where things kind of begin to shift for me, when I began to really start getting some actual new YouTube knowledge that I could start applying to my channel. And it also helped me be able to discover not to just copy what all of the other creators that are similar to my channel, not to just copy what they're doing, but to actually kind of come up with some different angles and what I can actually bring to the table that's different. So once I started applying what I was learning about YouTube, I started to actually get some growth as we moved into April and May. Was still very much in the experimenting process. And I think one of the things that was still really or I guess like really a work in progress at that point, was figuring out who I was trying to talk to, who my target audience was. And that's something that, like, literally to this day, I'm still crafting and creating and figuring out what's my niche, who am I targeting, what's my audience, how do I gear my videos towards those people. Because at the beginning, one of those huge mistakes that I was making was creating a video that was just for filmmakers or anybody that likes camera gear or anybody that wants to video edit anything. And that's way too broad. You really need to figure out who you're talking to so that you can talk to just that person. Because if you try to reach everyone, you'll probably end up reaching no one, which is what was happening with my first several videos. So I'm starting to make some progress. We're moving into April and May. I'm really kind of figuring out that tutorials kind of work better than like gear reviews and different things like that. I'm looking at outliers on my channel because I've learned from Think Media and vidIQ what outliers are. And those are just videos that are outperforming my regular content. And then I'm analyzing, okay, what did I do in those videos? What made those videos stand out and actually be outliers on my channel? So this led to my first few videos that were kind of getting some success that became the outliers, which was like what's in my camera bag video. And then I did a DaVinci Resolve video about the new captions. And I hopped on that trend that they had just come out with those animated captions. So that helped springboard because I was tapping into a current trend that was already doing well. From there, as we moved into June, I kind of stumbled onto my biggest video yet that's currently at 16,000 views. And that was my DaVinci Resolve beginner tutorial. It was so funny because I was actually sick that weekend and I knew I needed to film a video and get it out. And I just tried to come up with something that would be easy because I couldn't think straight. I wasn't feeling well. And I was like, you know what? I'll just kind of like show people how to edit. I didn't research this one. I didn't put in all of the time and energy and effort. This just kind of happened. And I was like, you know what? I'll just walk them through my editing process. That's easy. I don't have to think about it. I can just show them what I do. And that video ended up taking off. It's still getting VPH, which is views per hour. Another thing that vidIQ will show you if you have the browser plugin. And it's steadily getting views every single day since I posted it a couple of months ago. And what's cool is now I can go back and I can analyze that success and be like, okay, we played into the fact that DaVinci Resolve 20 had just came out. So that was really popular at the time. But also there's a huge trend in people switching video editing softwares right now from like Premiere Pro or CapCut, things like that, moving over to DaVinci Resolve. And it's become probably the most popular video editing software. So a lot of people are searching for beginner DaVinci Resolve tutorial, DaVinci Resolve tutorial, DaVinci Resolve 20. And so I was able to tap into that unknowingly, tap into keywords that people were really searching for, and will probably get views for a very long time. So this one video has single-handedly gotten me over 1,000 watch hours, almost 400 subscribers, and of course it's sitting at 16,000 views. This is just incredible because it shows that if you apply the right stuff, even if you applied it accidentally, which in my case it was accidental because I was sick, wasn't thinking straight, and it just kind of, I stumbled into this success. But when you go back and actually analyze it, then you can use those metrics and those strategies to actually create better content in the future. And since then, I have made a bunch of DaVinci Resolve tutorials that have gotten, 1,000, 2,000 views, which is not as much, but I have figured out what works, how to create a video that people are searching for, and how to be able to have videos along the same topic so that people can come back to your channel for similar ideas and similar video topics. But through this whole process, I was still really learning what works, what doesn't, and how I'm actually supposed to craft a video, how you're supposed to have a really engaging hook, how you should lay out your material so that it's not boring and you're giving value the entire time. These are all still things that I'm currently still working on and trying to figure out. But I think that biggest mistake early on was definitely making content that was kind of more for just myself, ideas that I thought I would like, versus actually figuring out what my audience wants and creating that type of content, what they're searching for, what their needs are, and tapping into their pain points. So I'm definitely learning now. What I wish I had known earlier is that I should research topics before I just go for it and press record and wing videos. I should put a lot more thought, energy, and effort into the research section of the video than I do necessarily even filming it. And that's something that's been very difficult for me. I like to just have an idea and then just jump in and go for it. But if you do that, then sometimes it tends to be not as put together and you get the lower views, the lower retention, the lower watch time. And so putting in that research ahead of time, making a bullet point list of points that you need to cover, making a script, writing a really compelling hook at the beginning, these kind of things are going to lead to better results and a more well-crafted video. And this kind of leads into another big mistake that I think of when I was first starting out. I thought that because I'm a filmmaker of 7 years and I really know how to do lighting and quality and make a nice looking video, that would just work in my favor and it would get me more points or more views just because. And that plays into this whole thought process that YouTube is all about strategy and all about understanding how the algorithm works, which the algorithm is not something spooky. The algorithm is people. And so if people don't like your content or they don't click on it, then people don't like your content and they didn't click on it. So just because I could make a pretty piece of content didn't necessarily mean that it would work. And I proved that over and over by having videos with low views because I didn't know how to craft a hook in the beginning. I didn't know how to deliver value in a concise way that's ordered and feels put together. So you could even think about this if you're not coming into this as a filmmaker. You could think about this like the gear is not necessarily as important. Now, does gear matter? Absolutely. I think you should invest in gear that you can afford. You can figure out what your budget is and figure out items within that budget that are high enough quality to work for your needs. Film with your iPhone, get a nice wireless mic, get a really cheap light, use a window as your key light. There are a bunch of different ways that you can increase the quality of your video without it being super expensive. But here is my point with this is that in some cases, it's not the gear that's the problem. It's the way you're delivering the information or the fact that you didn't research the topic enough to figure out if it would resonate with your audience, or it was just the order of your content that caused people to click off because it didn't make sense or you weren't conveying the information with enough value added. There are a whole bunch of different reasons why your videos might not be performing well, and that's something that I'm still currently trying to figure out. But what I have learned so far is from where I started to where I am now, I'm getting more views and I've gotten over 1,000 subscribers. And I've learned that YouTube honors being very consistent. I haven't missed a week of uploading a video since January. And I make sure that I'm engaging with comments. Anybody that comments on my video, I try to make sure that I reply to as many as I can. And I'm paying attention to what they're saying so that I can better deliver on the next video. Or if they have a question, can make that question into a video. I've done that multiple times. So I'm really focused on what is my audience wanting, what are they talking about, and how can I deliver on their needs and their pain points in a way to actually help them progress. Because the goal of my channel, with it being education geared, is to level up other people's skills. I want you to succeed. I want you to level up your filmmaking skills, your content creation skills, so that you can succeed on YouTube as an entrepreneur. And the way I do that is with education that actually makes sense. I want to be a clear, simple, concise voice teaching filmmaking and content creation education. But at the beginning of my journey, I didn't know all of that. I had not figured out Who should I target? Who am I talking to? What's my niche? But I just recently went through, again, going back to learning and researching and getting that knowledge. I went through a YouTube niche finder course by Think Media. Highly recommend. And it helped me discover who I should target, how I work through all of that. So now I have more of a clear plan to actually create content that will work because I will start following this system. I've narrowed down my audience and I can start creating content crafted towards that person. So even though I've already seen some success on YouTube, of course, I haven't made it or arrived, but I have learned so much from when I first started. Now I have a clearer picture of where I'm going and what it will take to actually get there. So now that we've talked about a lot of my mistakes and lessons that I've learned so far, let's finish up by talking about the 3 things that I wish I knew before I had started this YouTube channel. Number 1, I wish I knew at the beginning that I'm supposed to spend more time researching, planning, scripting, bullet pointing, outlining, all of that, even knowing your title and having an idea of your title and your thumbnail before you start filming. I wish I had known all of that before I started because that helps you have a more clear picture of your video and how it might perform because you have done the research. You figured out, are people searching for this, or you've chatted with AI and you've kind of figured out, okay, this is the top 10 things it recommends that people are actually searching for in my niche. You've gone through those video ideas, you've workshopped, you've thought it through. You have a potential title idea that will be really close, if not your final title. Thinking about all of that before you film has been a game changer for me. And I think I've seen a lot more success on my YouTube channel since I actually started doing that. So that's the first thing that I really wish I had known before I actually started. The second thing is having a clear plan of what's my niche. I wish before I had started this channel that I had known there was a YouTube niche finder course from Think Media, had gone through that and had a clearer path before I started, because I could have started out of the gate aimed at entrepreneurs who are wanting to succeed on YouTube and known that I want to teach them. So I want it to be an educational channel and I want to teach them filmmaking and content creation, which will encompass a whole lot of different things. If I had known all that coming in, I could have already had like content buckets and known that, like, okay, I can do lighting videos, I can do editing videos, I can do camera gear. There's all these things that I could already know. Here are some ideas, and I'm pointing all of these videos towards entrepreneurs that are wanting to succeed on YouTube. And that would have helped, not only would it have helped YouTube to know what audience to put my content in front of, which probably would have gotten me more views from the very beginning, it just would have given me so much clarity on what content to create and not banging my head against the wall trying to figure out why this didn't work. Well, it probably didn't work because it was just aimed at filmmakers in general, any of them, instead of a specific person. So YouTube didn't even probably know who to put my content in front of. And then if it put it in front of a bunch of random people and they didn't click on it, then it didn't get any views. And so it would stop sending it out to people. So that's definitely the second thing, is I wish I knew how to create and funnel down to a specific niche. And the third thing, and I kind of knew this coming in, but not really to the extent that I know it now, and that is that YouTube is a long game. And I knew this coming in. I knew that it wasn't going to be get rich quick, get viral quick, but I didn't really know to what extent that would be and how difficult it would actually be to want to keep going and to not quit. And it really is super difficult to actually get real success on YouTube. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes putting in a lot of effort, being very intentional and not giving up, not quitting, not stopping. You have to stick with it and you will eventually start to see success on YouTube. I'm over 1,000 subscribers now. I'm over 65,000 views total on my channel. And I would have never got there if I had not stuck with it and been consistent. Again, not missing a week of uploads, not deciding to just throw in the towel, quit, it's too hard, nothing's working. I stuck with it. I tried to figure out how I get the knowledge to make it work. And now I can really see how, yes, YouTube is the long game, But it's super rewarding, it's super fulfilling. You learn so much about personal development, you learn new skills, and I have developed just a love for YouTube in general to the point of wanting to help you and other people succeed on YouTube. So, yes, it does take a long time. Yes, it is the long game, but it's definitely worth it. And it can be so fulfilling if you go about it the right way and if you really try to make it work. But anyway, as we wrap up this podcast, I just want to say that I am still in a learning, growing process. All of this is still pretty new for me. Even though I'm in my 8th month, it still feels very real, very new, and very much like I am still swimming in the deep end trying to figure this out. So if you feel that way and you've just started your YouTube channel, don't feel like you're going through this by yourself. No matter how big or small your channel might be, we're all still in this process of figuring out the algorithm, figuring out what works on YouTube. And right now, there's some huge shifts and a lot of stuff changing on YouTube currently. So strategies and things that have been working in the past are not even working anymore. So we're all trying to adapt and learn and grow and figure out what works. And I just want to encourage you, stick with it. Keep going on YouTube and figure out how you can motivate yourself and stay encouraged so that you can actually get to success on YouTube, which is coming. It's just the long game and you have to stick with it. Anyway, I know I have shared a lot of personal stories in this podcast, but I want you to comment down below. What's your biggest struggle right now? What are some things that you've learned? That way we can all go down to the comments and learn and grow together and see how we can succeed on YouTube. So comment maybe something that you've figured out, comment something that's working for you right now or not working for you right now, and let's do this YouTube thing together.